Lord Nrsimha ki jai. Bola Maharaj ki jai.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Wow.
Yeah, they look great. I'm just so excited, all these improvements this couple's making.
Couple renovators said you're
Yeah.
excited. Did you see that one? How did it go on the window meet? And I think the windows off, and how did it get off? How did it get off? Yes, so. Very expensive. All together. Here's the bottom line. Where they are. The throwing them away from the bomb. They're empty. Cells. Use your GI code to like also share okay.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. Hare. You have a Bhagavad Gita?
Yes, I do. I got a Bhagavad Gita right here. Bhagavad Gita class at RBC. Introduction prayer, page 1. Amadana Kamarasya Ganya Ganya Salavya Patulitamina Tasne Gurave Namaha Chaitanya Manavishya Chipitya Nina Pundale Maya Vipavakara Maya Dadati Swapadatikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuddha Pradakamalam Sri Guran Vaishnavaccha Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Krishna Pada Savagana Lalita Sri Vaishnava Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dino Pando Nidapate Gopisha Gopika Gata Radha Kanta Namaste Tapa Kanchana Karanti Hare Vindatsare Vrindabaru Sute Deve Karnamain Kavi Hare Priye Pancha Kaka Karo Pariyanja Kripa Sindhu Devascha Patitanam Bhagavayo Vaishnavayo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Bhakti Gaura Bhaktivedanta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Let's see here. We're on what, chapter 15?
Yes, 15.
Extreme yoga. I think we left off at what, 24 yesterday?
I can't remember.
See here. Pretty sure.
It might be, yeah. No, I'm on 16.
Okay.
No, we don't have 24 and 15.
Okay, so when 20.
I don't think we went to 16, did we?
Did we go?
I don't think we did.
Okay.
I don't know.
Pick 3 and 4. Start out. Yoga Supreme Person.
Yeah, I think we ended on like 13 or 14.
13 and 14. Okay, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think it was out. Yeah. Okay, because we did 14.
Okay, so start at text 15.
Yeah.
Chapter 15, the Yoga of Supreme Person, starting at text 15. We do, RBC, we do 11 verses. Then we go back to the first verse and read the report and have a lecture. This way that we go through the entire Srimad Bhagavad Gita 3 months' time. Text 15. Sarvasya Tamam Hiri Sanavishito Makta Nitya Yana Avanam Cha Videsha Savir Aham Eva Vedyo Vedanta Krita Vita Viva Raham. Translation. I am seated in everyone's heart. From me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas am I to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. Text 16. Vaham Purusha Luke Shara Lacha Shara Dharmani Bhutani Bhutasto Shara Uchayate. Translation. There are two classes of beings, the fallible and the infallible. In the material world, every entity is fallible. In the spiritual world, every entity is called infallible. Text 17. Uttama Purushata Anya Paramatmite Udagritaha Yoloka Kayam Adishya Vihariti Vyatya Isvara. Translation. Besides these two, there is the greatest living personality, the Lord Himself, who has entered into these worlds and is maintaining them. Text 18.
Yes.
Yasma Shama Nidha Askara Api Lakama Atosi Luki Vedya Padita Purusatama. Translation. Because I am transcendental, beyond both the fallible and the infallible, and because I am the greatest, I have celebrated both in the world and in the Vedas as a supreme person. Text 19. Yomamibam Ashimudho Janati Purushottama Sarvabhavi Bharati Mam Sarvabhavina Bhagata. Translation. Whoever knows me as the Supreme Personality of Godhead without doubting is being understood as the knower of everything, and he therefore engages himself in full devotional service, O son of Bharata. Text 20. Iti Guriyatama Shastram Idam Mayataha Ita Bhuva Bhuvanam Sivya Ita Kritasta Hayata. Translation. This is the most confidential knowledge of the Vedic scriptures, O sinless one, and is disclosed now by me. Whoever understands this will become wise, and his endeavor to know perfection. Let's see here. We go up to text 5.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds right.
So, chapter 16, the divine and dynamic natures, text 1 through 3 here. Shri Bhagavantu Vacha Abhayam Sattva Sampuhir Jnana Yoga Viyakti Jnana Namacha Yagyascha Yagyas Tapa Arjapam Amimas Satyam Akramas Yagya Shankir Abhishunam Daya Bhuteshu Alalukkam Uttam Madhavam Vire Achalam Achalam Yeya Shema Sama Vita Satcham Arabo Nitya Avati Sambharam Davim Abhijatas Bharata. Translation. The Blessed Lord said, fearlessness, purification of one's existence, cultivation of spiritual knowledge, charity, self-control, performance of sacrifice, study of the Vedas, austerity, simplicity, non-violence, truthfulness, freedom from anger, renunciation, tranquility, aversion to fault finding, passion, freedom from covetousness, gentleness, modesty, and steady determination, vigor, forgiveness, fortitude, cleanliness, freedom from envy, and the passion for honor. These transcendental qualities, O son of Prophet, belong to godly men endowed with divine nature. Text 4. Damdo Vinmanusha Vidaha Parushyam Himacha Vatanam Shavijatasya Vakta Samparam Asurim. Translation. arrogance, pride, anger, deceit, harshness, and ignorance. Those qualities belong to those demonic natures of Mon-Fri. Our final text this evening, Devi Sampada Mokshaya Nibbaya Sari Mata Masukya Samparam Daimim Vijato Sandava. Translation: the transcendental qualities are conducive to liberation, whereas the demonic qualities make for bondage. Do not worry, O son of Mon-Fri, for you are born with the divine qualities. Turning to text 15, chapter 15. Actually, text 14, wasn't it?
It was 15.
Okay, text 15. Okay, text 15 of chapter 15. Yoga of the Supreme Person. Translation: I am seated in everyone's heart. From me comes remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas am I to be known. I am the compiler of the Vedanta. I am the knower of the Vedas. Purport: the Supreme Lord is situated as Paramatma in everyone's heart, and it is from him that all activities are initiated. The living entity forgets everything of his past life. He has to act according to the direction of the Supreme Lord, who is witness to all his work. Therefore, he begins his work according to his past deeds. Required knowledge is supplied to him, and remembrance is given to him, and he forgets also about his past life. Thus, the Lord is not only all-pervading, he is also located in every individual heart. He awards the different fruitive results. He is not only worshipful and the impersonal Brahman, but the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the localized Paramatma, but as a form of the incarnation of Godhead and the localized Paramatma, form of the incarnation of the Vedas as well. The Vedas give the right direction to people so they can properly mold their lives and come back to Godhead, back to home. The Vedas offer knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. And Krishna is his incarnation as Vaisudeva, is a compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The commentation on the Vedanta Sutra by Vyasadeva in Srimad Bhagavatam gives a real understanding of Vedanta Sutra. The Supreme Lord is so full that for the deliverance of the conditioned soul, he is the supplier and digester of foodstuff, the witness of his activity, the giver of knowledge in the form of the Vedas, and is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, the teacher of the Bhagavad Gita. He is worshipful by the conditioned soul. This God is all good. God is all merciful. Ananta Parvashata Sasya Janam Janam. The living entity forgets as soon as he quits his present body, but he begins his work again, initiated by the Supreme Lord. Although he forgets, the Lord gives him the intelligence to renew his work where he ended his last life. So not only does a living entity enjoy or suffer in the world according to the direction of the Supreme Lord situated locally in the heart, but he receives the opportunity to understand the Vedas from him. If one is serious to understand the Vedic knowledge, then Krishna gives the required intelligence. Why does he present the Vedic knowledge for understanding? Because the living entity individually needs to understand Krishna. Vedic literature confirms this. Yusa Sarver Vidir Yati. And all Vedic literature, beginning from the four Vedas, Vedanta Sutra, and the Upanishads, the Puranas, and the glories of the Supreme Lord are celebrated. By performing Vedic rituals, discussing the Vedic philosophy, and worshiping the Lord in devotional service, he is attained. Therefore, the purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. The Vedas give us direction to understand Krishna and the process of understanding. The ultimate goal is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedanta Sutra confirms this in the following words: Tatu Samanavayata. One can attain perfection by understanding Vedic literature, and one can understand his relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead by performing the different processes. Thus, one can approach him at the end and attain the supreme goal, who is no other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In this verse, however, the purpose of the Vedas, the understanding of the Vedas, and the goal of the Vedas are clearly defined. Hare Hare. There was a great Vaishnava. Many people know him today by his name, Jesus Christ. But there was a man that came, a rich man that came to Jesus and asked Jesus, what must I do to be saved? What was this man asking to be saved from? Prabhu?
Mhm.
He's asking to be saved from hell. Where does this hell come from?
Yes.
Hell comes from indulging in sense gratification. The separation from Krishna, separation from God. When we are employing our senses, to enjoy our own material pleasures and not for Krishna pleasures, this is what's separating us from God. We're putting ourselves before God. And that creates suffering when we're separated from God. That creates we basically create our own hell. We create our own suffering by enjoying our senses first and not offering it to Krishna. So what did Jesus reply? Honor your father and mother and follow the laws. Rich man says, well, I do this. What else must I do? Jesus said, give away all your possessions to the poor and come follow me. Rich man could not do that. The parable that Jesus laid out was that it's easier for a camel to go through an eye of needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven.
Mhm.
What do you think that is?
Why?
Yeah.
Because, well,
Microphone.
From what you told me, it seems like the reason why he can't go to heaven is because he's too attached to his possessions.
Why is he attached to his possessions?
Because he worked very hard for them.
And why did he work very hard for them?
Because, he wanted sense gratification.
He was attached to sense gratification. He was unable to give all his material possessions up because that's what brought him his gratification. So he was unwilling to give this all up, to go follow Jesus. And Jesus, where was he going to lead him? He was going to follow him. Where was he going to lead him? He's going to lead him to God, to the Father in heaven. That's why Well, Hare Krishnas believe that Jesus was probably one of the greatest Vaishnavas. Because Jesus was teaching how to love God. The greatest law in the Bible that Jesus quoted was to love God. And the second is to love thy neighbor. In many ways, this is where Christianity, modern day Christianity, seems to goof it up because they think the whole purpose is just to believe in Jesus. Ask forgiveness of the sins, and then boom, you'd be saved. Possibly. I'm not so sure about that. Seems just, awfully too easy. I mean, even the devil believes in God. But here in the Vedas and here in the Bhagavad Gita, it's clearly laid out. So our desires for sense gratification that are chains that are creating our own conditions of hell. The more that we try to indulge in this material world, the more that we try to gratify our own senses, the more that we are creating our own hell, the more that we are binding ourselves in our own chains, the more that we are creating our own bars, our own prison that we can't escape from. But there is an escape. There is one escape. And that's through pure, loving, devotional service to God. And that's the only way out. There's no other way out. That's the only way out. God has provided this. It's not that God is cruel. It's not that God is wanting to punish us. Not that, he's vindictive or anything like that. No, he loves us. God loves us. And he is so merciful. He is so merciful that he's trying to give us what we want. So when we're desiring material things in this material world, silly things. I want a new car. I want my own private jet. I want to go out on a Friday night and drink at the bar. I want to watch the Super Bowl. I want to watch the pretty ladies in sports. I want to go climb a mountain. When we try to enjoy all these silly things, they're empty. And why they're empty? Okay.
Yeah. I'm just seeing if I need to zoom in on you. Which I do.
Why they are empty? Because Krishna is the supreme enjoyer. Krishna is a reservoir of all pleasure. What we're going after is simply an illusion when we're going after these material sense gratification. It's all an illusion. Because as soon as we grab it, the happiness disappears. It's gone. It's gone in a fleeting moment. No matter what you try to grasp at, no matter how much material wealth, no matter how much material wealth you accumulate that you can spend on, it's all these fleeting moments of happiness that just keep grabbing and they keep slipping away from you. It's like trying to being drowned by somebody, being held underwater and be, just be given a moment of, time to get a fresh breath of air. And that fresh breath of air is the happiness that you're receiving. Then you're being pushed back down under again. You drown. None of these material things are tangible. None of these things you can hold on to. None of these things are going to stick with you. As I've said before, that you become the world's greatest educated person, become the smartest person in the world, get all these degrees, get the Nobel Peace Prize, get all these honors. You can't hold on to it, because when death comes, it's over. You can't take that with you. You can acquire all the riches in the world. You can become the world's richest person. Own all the businesses in the world. Have enough money to gratify your senses all the way to the end of your life. But in the end, you can't take that with you. It stays here. It's an illusion. There's not a single thing in this material world that you can take with you. And we only have a limited amount of time. So all the gold in the world cannot buy a single moment in time. Think about that. Especially in this day and age, in the age of Kali, where lifespan is shortened. We're living less than 120 years. Many of us are lucky to make it to 80 or 90. And we're wasting this time. Think about all the time we're wasting in playing video games or watching TV. All this time that's being wasted. And the sad thing is that many of us enjoy wasting time. Just wasting away. Before you know it, it's over. You're old. You're on your deathbed. And you're dying. You have all these regrets. But through pure devotional service, we can escape all this. We can put a stop to this endless cycle of birth, death, disease, and old age. Because it's our material senses that are binding us to this world. It's the result of our actions that are leading us on to the next body. What kind of body we're going to get. We live like a pig. We might just end up like a pig. God gives us the body to appropriately give, to help us enjoy the senses that we desire to indulge in. And bodies come in many forms, and in different bodies, there's different senses that we are accustomed to become to enjoy. That's where some of these hellish worlds come in, because we got to be conditioned to become an animal. If your actions in life that are such that you're being rewarded to become a pig, well, there's a hellish world out there that you're reborn into to get you used to eating stool. Because pigs love to eat stool. They love to roll their food around in stool. So you get placed in this hellish world to eat stool until you begin to like stool. So you be placed in a pig's body to enjoy the stool. Because that's what you had desired. That's what the actions of your life had given you. Bring you on to the next body. There's 8,400,000 forms of species according to the Vedas. 8,400,000 forms of species that we can be recycled into. Oh, it's recycled because God's into the recycling process. Look at the world around you. Look at this material world around us. The very water that we're drinking has been recycled over and over and over again. It's the same water that the dinosaurs were drinking millions and billions of years ago. The air that we're breathing, it's the same air that Jesus was breathing. It's just been recycled over and over again. Through plants breathing in the carbon dioxide that's produced by the animals and humans. And humans breathing in the air that's been produced by the plants. It's just a recycling process. And when things die, decay, and they turn into soil, rich, fertile soil for the plants to consume. And through the plants consuming the soil, these decayed remnants of the soil, we eat the plants. Just before it becomes stool, become decay again. God's in the recycling process. Soil works pretty much the same way. The results of our fruitive actions, we are given the body by what we work towards. In this age of Kali, it's not like the previous ages where we had very long lifespans, sharp intelligence. Previous ages, you can perform yogas, perform meditation, and try to purify yourself that way and come to this realization, eventually into Bhakti Yoga. But now we're in the age of Kali, a very short lifespan. We have a limited amount of time. As I was saying before, this recycling process into 8,400,000 forms of species. Humanity, there's about 8 billion of us. Not that many compared to all these other species out there that should be recycled into. So there's always a long waiting line for humanity. Because there's like 40 quadrillion ants. So that's easy to get into. All kinds of mosquitoes and bugs and viruses and plants and trees and animals. All kinds of bodies to be recycled into. But it's only through devotional service to God, devotional service to Krishna, that we can get at least a chance, get a fast pass back to humanity if we fail to purify ourselves. Through the association of devotees, association of the deities, association of kirtan, listen to kirtan, association of purifying our senses with things that have been offered to God. We can purify ourselves, purify from our karmic action. That's what we're trying to purify ourselves from, is our past karma. Karma is a result of action. The actions that we've taken in the past, whether good karma, bad karma, it doesn't matter. Good karma or bad karma. You might accumulate all the good karma in the world. You might end up, taking birth in one of the heavenly planets. But that's only temporary. to enjoy your material senses for expanded amount of time and have all these great indulgences, but that's only temporary, because once that reward is used up, you gotta come back down. You might screw up enough where you end up in the hellish worlds for a while. That's your reward for bad karma. Once that reward is used up, you get reborn here on Earth. And going through the 8,400,000 form species back until you back into being born human again. And the human life is the only life that we can make advancement towards God, towards Krishna. Bhakti yoga is the fastest and surest way back to God. Pure, loving, devotional service. Fastest and most surest way. God wants a relationship with us. God loves us. He's all merciful. He's all loving. He wants us to surrender to Him. We are parts and parcels of His body. We're meant to serve Him. Even the Bible says that God created us to serve Him. God created Adam and Eve to be servants. Serving God is our constitutional position. That's what brings us closer to God. How do we overcome our desires, these material desires that we've been accumulating for lifetime after lifetime after lifetime? You gotta purify yourself through devotional service, through prayer, through serving. Spiritual master is the expert in helping us purify ourselves, purifying our karma.
No, I just have to charge it.
Yeah.
Okay. The spiritual master is the expert in helping us, purify ourselves, leading us on in devotional service. He's serving his guru, just as his guru has served his guru, going all the way down the system, all the way back to God. We have a whole line of acharyas praying for us when we're serving our spiritual master. It's only through the grace of Krishna that we can give up these material desires. We are helpless. We gotta beg God every day. Oh Lord, please. I just want to desire you more and more and more every day. I don't want these material desires anymore. They're creating this hell for me. Please, Lord, help me desire you more than anything else in this world. I beg you. You gotta beg God. You gotta go before God and beg Him every single day. You gotta let God know this is what you really want. Because otherwise, God's going to be fulfilling all these other desires that you're continually giving into. It's like cultivating a garden. What what plants are you watering? Are you watering the plants that material desires? By indulging in material desires first, you're watering them. They're weeds. They are growing big and strong. Choking out devotional weeds, the devotional flowers that are trying to grow. But when you stop watering these material desires, start ignoring them, and start focusing on devotion to God, devotion to Krishna, practicing service, you begin watering those wonderful flowers and those wonderful devotional plants. They begin to grow strong, and the weeds begin to die. And enough time following the direction of the spiritual master, performing your sadhana, performing your duty, doing your daily prayers, going through the purification. These plants grow beautiful, strong, and luxurious. And the weeds are eventually choked out and they die off. Because ultimately we are preparing ourselves for the time of death. One sure thing in this world, not two sure things, death and taxes. As soon as you're conceived, there's one guarantee, you're going to die. So each and every day we prepare ourselves for death. How are you preparing yourself? Are you indulging in your material senses? Creating your own hellish world in the future? Being trapped, being bound by these chains of desire? Or are you dedicating your human body to service to God? To loving God, learning how to love Him and to surrender to Him, to be a part of Him once again. Any questions or comments? Almost there. You sure you got no questions or comments, Prabhu?
You had a lot of nice points today. It was really, you spoke beautifully. I've written a few of them down. The first one was that we actually enjoy wasting time. Very, very good, because it's true, we all, especially when we're, karmis before devotional life, we just love to watch movies and play video games. That was a really good point. This point that you made about nature being so amazing that plants breathe out oxygen for us and we breathe out carbon dioxide for plants. That was like gold right there. Because I had never seen it like that. Every time I would hear about it in science class, I'd be like, oh, it's just natural, it's just automatic. You know, this is what Prabhupada talks about in a lot of his books and lectures and everything. That everyone is thinking that nature is working automatically, but really there's an intelligence behind it. So the fact that it's just like it's working like a puzzle, one piece. piece goes in and then another piece goes in. So that was a really good point. Um, I like this point that you made about, how many creatures that we can be born into, especially the point that you made about viruses, because I never thought of that. But viruses are also living entities. It's just, yeah, we just don't understand them like that. But they also mate, they also defend, and they also sleep. Um, oh yeah, this is a beautiful point that you made about watering the material weeds can choke out the devotional flowers. I especially like when you said the flowers, because that just gave a little bit of a, what's it called, imagery to like see how, devotional service is beautiful. So if we don't see it as beautiful, then we have a problem. We're actually watering the material weeds. And the last point that you made was that through devotional service, the devotional flowers, you said luxurious, but I put luxuriant. I don't know what the difference is, but really nice, really good vocabulary. So all in all, it's a really great class. Really nice.
Yes. Well, I think that's our time for today. Baba Kita Ki Jai.